It's brilliant.
Oh, brilliant. So,
right, are we going to crack on with something of use?
Yeah, come on. These good people have given up their night to come and share it with us and learn some skills, right? You know, we have a laugh. It says
so what are we going to learn
not
tonight, Claire? What is it? What are we up to? What's happening tonight?
What's happening tonight is we're going to talk to you about the fortune is in the follow-up. It really, 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 really is. Okay. And let's kick in with the first slide. I like this training. There's a lot of good stuff in this one.
And pulled this together last minute, and I love it. It's so good.
Hannah, your slides are always incredible.
Thank you very much, darling.
Hannah does all the work. I just turn up and give nonsense. So listen to this. Diligent follow-up and follow through will set you apart from the crowd and communicate excellence. What a great quote that is. Now, there's some lovely statistics on the left. Look at that. 40%, almost half people give up after that first contact. You know, look at this. 80% of sales are made after 5+ contacts. Now, there's something to think about before we even start. You know, we could instantly now up our ratios, get in front of people, if we just went back to people. And I'm going to ask you all, do you have a no for now book? Like I have here, a no for now book. That is one of the biggest tools you will have in your armory. Every time somebody says no or something that isn't yes, you can pop them in your little book with a little date and a little note of who they were, when you met them, and go back to them. Right? I think that is a great idea. So if you haven't, what about writing that down now as a point of action for yourself after tonight? Can I have a show of hands if you do have a no for now book? Well done. Well done.
I don't have a no for now book. I have a totally different system, but it works really well for me. So what I have on my diary as a recurring event on the 1st of each month. So I've gone to diary, I've put the first, put a recurring event, and it's called follow-up calls. And say somebody wants calling in January, I just put them on the 1st of January next year. Okay, so that's a really good way. So on the 1st of every month, it comes up. I also have a paper diary, and on the 1st of each month, it says frogs. I go through my frogs again. I look at who's on there. I think of who I know and add to my list. And also I've got diarised 2 hours of follow-up on the 1st of every month. Now, obviously this diary only goes to December. So already on the back page, I've got January, February, March, April, May, and I've written everyone's names. The other thing I do is when someone's in my phone and I've followed them up, or I've rang and they've ignored me, which we're going to go through. Don't worry, we're going to address the fact people are just going to ignore us, and the fact that that's okay is I also put next to their name in the company space NFN and a purple heart, so I can just search in my contacts NFN. It brings up all my no for nows. So paper versions are brilliant, digital versions are brilliant. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you do what Claire just said. Make a point of action to accumulate all that data, because 3-4 years down the line you will forget the people that said no in year one.
Yeah. And of course,
that's where the money is.
Yeah, it really is, guys. You know, you've spent that time speaking to somebody, reaching out, presenting. Why not go back to them? And obviously the portal now is incredible for logging your activity.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
You know, putting stuff in there, reminders. I mean, who's using that? That is,
me.
You know, as absolutely brilliant. So yeah, Naomi's put in the chat a yes for later. I like that. Rather than no for now, a less yes for later. I've also in my iPhone in notes, I've got a no for now list. You know, so that you can grab that. And I've also got a book so that when I'm here in front of my desk doing appointments, I can pop them in my book. If not, they're on my phone. Right, why follow up? So really important. It's the obvious thing. It's not nagging, it's not pestering, it's not boring, it's doing what you said you do. That alone will set you aside from the crowd, because most people don't do what they say they're going to do. We know that. Right, most people, oh yeah, I want to join, I want to earn £250, I want to pay off my debt, I want to get on the housing ladder, I want to do this, I want to do that. As soon as we sign them up, they're almost instantly looking for a way to get out, a way to leave, a way to quit. You know, following up, be different from everybody else. Do what the hell you said you were going to do, and you will stand out from the crowd. Gently persistent, being proud of the product, being a product of the product, speaking and recommending from the heart, from your soul. And this is a really key thing. What's in it for them? Not what's in it for you. Not, oh, I need to get somebody because I want to qualify for my pizza or my hamper or my, you know, whatever. What's in it for them? Just changing that mindset. And somebody to enjoy seeing. You know, that's what sets us apart from the competition, is they've got a person, they've got you looking after them and being tenacious, you know, not being rude, not being red, not being aggressive, not being pushy, but having some posture, not pushy, being persistent, not pushy, and just having a bit of grit about you, and just reinforcing that exposure after exposure after exposure. So following up is absolutely key.
So Claire had a bit of a chat about this earlier, because I had a really good one-to-one with a lovely lady called Nikki in my team this week. And we talked about, Dan Holmes calls them phantom partners or phantom customers. And it's when you kind of don't do anything because there's let's just mute Janice. There we go, darling. It's where you don't just take any action because you've got so many just little leads hanging. Can you all mute? Or Claire, can you mute everyone and then I'll unmute?
I've done it. I was Nicola Evans, and
we're all good. Nice. We're all good. We're all good. So this is where you've got loads of little leads dangling, and they literally become a hurdle to moving forward because you don't take proper action, proper rainmaking activity, because you've got so many people that are just about to join the team. And I spoke to Nikki this week. It was brilliant, and we call it clearing the decks. It's literally taking all those people that have said, "Oh yeah, I would be interested," you know. In 2025, perhaps one day when Eon have gone bust, I might give you 20 minutes of my time to show me how much you're going to save. No, clear the decks, get them put out there and make that plan. You know, we said it's not nagging, you're just going to do what you said you're going to do. So tell them you're putting them to one side and you'll come back and see them. So I love this little phrase. I've used it for years. I love it. There's a fine line between great customer service and stalking. It makes me smile. It normally makes my customer smile. You must be really busy at the moment. I hope all's okay. Hope all of you are right. If you want to know more, you know where I am, and I'll keep you in the loop with anything that I think will benefit you. Now, before, I've seen this script used, but I'll keep you in the loop with any company changes. Who cares about any company changes? They just care about what's in it for them. So I'll keep you in the loop with anything that will benefit you. We're making exciting changes all the time. I love this little script. Claire, do you like this as a way to clear the decks of anybody?
I absolutely love this. I love our conversation starters, our going back to people's scripts. That's what I think people come on here for, guys, isn't it? For the words that we say, because words are so powerful. I've said it before, Dr. Tom Barrett, that incredible book, Dare to Dream, Work to Win. If you haven't bought that, guys.
I'm just going to grab it. I'm grabbing it. I've got it on CD. Got it on CD.
Dr. Tom Barrett says, change your words, change your life. This business is about the words we use and the order in which we put them. Stefan Longworth is a master of that. And all we've got to do is copy one another. We are giving you the framework. We are giving you the words to say. All we're asking you to do is make them you, right? Make them you so people don't think you're weird. This is what I loved about UW when I started. I just thought, well, all I've got to do now is copy the successful people. I used to feverishly write down the things they said and stick them up everywhere so I could learn them, and I'd practice them and I'd record them on my phone and I'd listen to them back until the words became me, until it burnt a groove in my brain and I started saying these things almost I was learning things by osmosis. I love this.
You might not know this, but when I joined the business, I don't know if I ever told you this. When I joined the business, you'd done a video to your team in 3 parts.
Yeah.
Of the whole presentation.
I did.
And it was 3 videos. And I used to say, I didn't even know who you were, just crazy Welsh woman.
Wow.
I remember sitting in my car outside the appointment listening to it again, and I used to just listen to you again and again and again, and I think I'd forgotten that I did that, but it was absolutely brilliant because I've always been good at learning a script because I've done lots of acting and presenting, so that was easy for me to just listen to someone else and learn it verbatim. And it just is like, think of it like a little crutch until you get your posture. You're going to hear in the business all the time, borrow other people's belief until you've got your own. Borrow the conversation starters, borrow the ideas, just borrow it all, because eventually you'll be able to tweak it even more because it will just literally come out of the bones of you, which is where we're at now.
Absolutely,
So Claire, with this, we talked about sometimes of this, we basically say, have a great week, and we say we're going to get hold of them later. So that can be in 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. It doesn't matter. You've said you're going to keep them in the loop when something happens that will benefit them. Now, if they say, actually, I do want a bit more information, this is when it's really easy. I've done this to go, brilliant. I'll just get in the car now. Put trousers on. Put trousers on. Who's sat? You're not sitting without them. Put your trousers on. Get in the car. Drive around. Knock on the door. Sometimes it needs to just be a gentler approach, and it's absolutely fine to use these tools. Now, Claire, on Wes's Big Night In or Claire's Big Night In last night, you were talking about broadcast lists, which was one of my top takeaways, weren't you?
Yeah, Nicola Taylor, our new SGL, talked about the fact that she's got over 300 personal customers. Nicola's probably on the call tonight, and she's created a WhatsApp broadcast list. Now, what I love about the WhatsApp broadcast list is anybody can do it, right? You don't have to be a whiz on technology like Hannah Leaning, right? And Andy King there with his Saver Bundle background. Hannah, please put your boost background up for everybody.
I'll put my boost background up
while I'm doing this. It is so easy, right? You grab your phone now, you go into WhatsApp, right? I'm going to show you guys now. And at the top on the left-hand side, it says broadcast list. You click on that and you can make a new list, and you can add whoever you want to that list. Therefore, one could be for all your team. One could be for your family, if you like them. One could be for all your customers. And what the broadcast list does is this, right? You set up a broadcast list. You pop everybody in that list that you want to contact. You send them one message and it goes to all of them. But the magic is when they reply to you privately, so nobody else in the group, in the list, can see it. And when you respond to them, it goes to them privately. So, it's not like a group where everybody can see each other's responses and everybody can do this.
And it pings and pings and pings and ping, ping, ping. No.
Oh, no. You were sending one message to like 220 people. And if they respond, it's privately to you. And if you respond to them, it's privately to them. So it's a really quick, easy way for people who are not that tech savvy like myself to get a message out to everybody without everybody seeing each other's messages coming in and out. Do you all understand that?
One of the points Nicola made yesterday was don't start it with hi everybody. Start it with just hello.
Yeah.
So if you put hello everybody, then everyone knows that it's not just to that. I'm sorry, we've got some. Have you found them, Claire? Someone's off of you.
People keep unmuting themselves. I don't understand it. So yeah, just looking if Nicola Taylor's on here. No, she's not. So do you all understand a broadcast list? Have a practice with some people in your family or some people in your team. It's super simple, and it is such an effective way of getting a message out to all your customers. Sending them a screenshot of the boost. The Ben Fogel video, a screenshot of the fixed tariff, a screenshot of the Save the Bundle logo.
There's loads on the portal that you can nick at the moment. Loads of it. It's there and it's beautifully designed. It's fully branded. It's professional. You don't need to make this stuff up. You can just grab what's been done for you. And also in the dashboard, if you go down to marketing, I think it's social media. There's loads of bits you can use. You can tell I'm going to be running. So this is what I'm going to do this week. Today I hit. Well, as a team, we are now 200 IDs, which was like a really
200
great
partners. Well done, Han.
Thank you. So it felt really lovely because for me, it's always been about building a team. So we've got 200 partners in the team. So today I'm going to do a little broadcast that says, when you're now part of a team with 200 partners as a customer. So I'm then going to run a story for the next 7 days on one partner a day and what they get from the business and what they bring to the business. Now, what a lovely thing to put out on a broadcast. It's just a great story. And
I got something to say about the broadcast. It's very important. The broadcast list only works if they've got your number stored in their contacts. So what you do is when you're on an appointment, whether it's virtual or face-to-face, you get them to store your number in their phone. That's really important. Anyway, I do that to all my customers. So I say, listen, I'm your point of contact. Pop me in your phone now. And then they're in there. They are in there. Okay, somebody asked a minute ago, Hannah, from the previous screen, what's the VOP? That's the virtual opportunity presentation. There's a live one every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. for those of you who are nocturnal like me. Derek Thomas, NGL, does a live one every Wednesday night. I present it, different people present it. There's, you know, people speak, live testimonials. And this is what it's called, guys. Write this down. The link to join is www. nextoption.co.uk. Thank you, Elaine. Nextoption.co.uk. Anybody's welcome. I think that Zoom room holds 1,000. It's brilliant. So that's the virtual one. Then, of course, there's the one you can send to prospects, which is on loop. Hannah Leanan is featured on this one. It's called uw.co.uk/earn. That's about an 8-minute presentation, and you could, and it's, you know, you can send it to anybody at any time. By the way, if you don't know what we're on about, make a note of these things and have a look at them, check them out for yourselves.
Go find them, yeah.
All right, because so you understand, it's important you understand the tools and what they look like, what they sound like, what they feel like, how they look, etc. Right, really important.
And it is important when you're sending somebody something, you know what you're sending them, because then you know how to follow up. At the end of the earn video that I do with Joe, I say you're going to fall into one of 3 categories. Number 1, like me, you're ready to jump on board now. Number 2, you've got questions. That's okay. You're going to learn while you earn some money. Or number 3, the timing's wrong. Now the person that sent the video is going to get in touch with you. Now I wrote that in the end of it on purpose to literally give you the perfect follow-up, because you're not nagging, you're doing what we've said on the video that you're going to do. So when you're sending this stuff out, watch all 3 videos so you know how they end, you know what you're looking for, and you can follow up properly with that conversation. But however good you are and however well you follow up, people are going to ignore you, and it's not about you. So Claire, you know, loads of ideas on screen. We've all been guilty of this. I've been guilty of looking at it and going, that deserves more than a yes or a no. For me, it's always about diary. If somebody says, Hannah, we must get together, what I do in my head is I go, I've got to check my paper diary, I've got to check the phone. Is Noah at a golf competition? Is Daisy here? Is she working? Or is she at Josh's? Where's Zach? I've literally, the amount of things I need to do in my head to be able to commit, because when I say yes, I mean yes, not perhaps. I'm like, yes, I commit. So that's going to happen to other people. So make it easy for people to make a decision. Now, one of the things Claire and I remembered, I've just remembered the word clock face. I hope Christine Wise is on this call. One of the things Claire and I remembered was talking about the clock face. Christine has called it something else on a training before. We're going to leave that to imagination, what Christine has called the clock face. So Claire, what is the clock face, and how does it help people's mindset?
So the clock face is obviously a clock face, okay? And it's about timing. The timing has got to be right for people to join this business. As you go around the clock, the timing is different. Maybe somebody's just had a major promotion, so they are at, you know, number 12. They don't want to join because everything's rosy. But then in 5 years' time, they may get redundancy. And so they move around the clock face based on where they are in their life. And so it's about finding the time that is right. Remember, it's not about you, it's about them. The time may be right for you because you need that team leader to get you to senior team leader. But it's about what's important to me, okay? It's about focusing on your prospects' needs. It's just like, what do we say? You know, we are problem solvers in UW. Everybody we know, everybody out there has got a pain, and we can help with it, whether that's saving money or making money. I mean, it's our job just to find out what their pain is by asking questions. 2 ears, 1 mouth. We must become good at asking questions and not just talking. That's something that took me a long time to learn, as you all can imagine, because I love talking, but that I had to learn and teach myself to, you know, just ask good questions. So it's about timing. It's not about you, it's about them. It's not about you telling them about all the holidays you've been on with UW and you've had the mini and you've had this and that. It's about you finding out from people, okay? So asking good questions, you know, are you one of those people that love their job? How are you finding this cost of living crisis? Is your mortgage going up? How are you, are you going to be able to go on holiday this year? Whatever the questions are. And that's what I've become good at, is when I'm in a wedding or a social gathering. Before, I used to pin people against the wall and tell them all about UW and Mel would be like, you know, mortified when we'd have an argument on the way home in the car. Oh, you did it again. You just ruined that evening by telling everybody about the award-winning Wi-Fi and, you know, the mega router. I was boring. I bored people, and I got it, you know, I got a name for myself. Oh God, don't talk to that Clare Hannah. She's mental. She'd bloody have you in a corner and tell you, trying to sign you up for gas and electric with some company you've never heard of. You know, don't be that person. I'm sorry, I'm going off on one now, but I'm talking about
when someone asks you, Claire, when you're at a wedding or you're in a supermarket or you're at a social gathering, because that's what it's, you know, summer's here, we're having barbecues, people are over. What is a great phrase that you can sort of do to sort of say, I'm going to come back to you, so that you can avoid the question?
I say, you know, it's a really good question. Now's not the time. We're in a barbecue, wedding, whatever. Why don't we connect? And I'll give you a call and we can arrange some uninterrupted time together. Uninterrupted time together. That's a Paula Pritchard phrase. So you're right. Your job is to arrange a mutually beneficial time for the both of you, where you can both give it the time and the respect and the concentration that it deserves. Say, oh, but it's too much to go into now, Hannah. It's you know, it's so exciting. I wouldn't do it justice, just throwing all the facts at you now. But you know, if you see what I saw, you'll be glad for me to connect with you and to see it. That's an Andy Waring phrase. You know, maybe you feel may not be, but if you saw what I saw, you'll realize why I want to show you, or why I'm so excited. Andy Waring, I've got the CD over there. Make the phone your friend. Absolutely brilliant.
I love it. I'm a big fan of it. Really, really good.
Do you know, I've just you know, refreshed myself on that now to remember to listen to that, because it's so bloody good. It's little voice notes of what to say if somebody says, oh, I'm you know, is it sales? Oh, is it a pyramid? Oh, you know, I haven't got the time. Oh, I haven't got the money. It's all little gems of nuggets of voice notes that you can just listen to and remember. I've got them on my iPod actually.
I've got to say, I recruited somebody in a shopping centre a month ago because of that Andy Waring thing. So a girl came up to the stand. We were doing a 20k giveaway in a shopping centre. It was dire. There was like no one there. We were literally just sitting eating a pasta salad. There was no one to chat to. Anyway, this girl came past and her friend had a puppy. So I went, do you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to go and say hello to the puppy. So I was like, oh no, I'm saying hello to the puppy. Having a little fuss. Puppy was dead cute. Honestly, what to say? Get on with pets. It'll do your business great. And this girl called T, she's absolutely lovely. She was there and she went, what is it you're doing? I said, oh, I said, well, we're actually giving away 20 grand, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm looking for great people that want to do what I do, which is, you know, build a business from home, an online business based from home. And she said, oh, is it sales? And I said, that's an interesting question. What makes you say that? Because I'd absolutely love to do some sales. I'd love to get some sales training. No joke.
She said she'd love to do sales.
She's called T. She's absolutely lovely. And I said, well, you're going to love this because we can get you trained up in sales for free.
See, now lots of people would have thought, oh my God,
sales. No.
Negative. Yeah. But actually for some people, the fact that it might be sales might turn them on. There's some weird people out there, believe me. Look at me and Hannah. Where's two right here tonight, fresh, live in front of your face.
And the other thing with questions, Claire's talked about questions and using questions and asking questions. So we've gone through what to do in a social situation where someone's asking you and you're trying to say, no, I need uninterrupted time. So then what about in those situations where you've met someone for coffee, thank you, Claire, 2 or 3 times, and you want to bring the conversation around to UW, but you're feeling awkward? For me now, I'm not awkward. I just dive in and go, right, there's a reason we're here. I've got something to show you. I'm off my head with excitement. I need 20 minutes of your time to show you a video. And they're like, okay then. And I show them. But there's a thing called not rhetorical questions, reciprocal questions. And that is in life, generally, and you'll now notice it everywhere. If you say to someone, how are you? They'll go, I'm good, thanks. How are you? So if you want somebody to ask you about your business, say, how's business? Because when they finish, if you keep quiet, they will say, how's business for you? And you go, well, actually, we're doing really well. We've, hit a great target of 200 partners in the team now. It's fantastic. So if you want to use that to your advantage, if it's in networking, if it's picking up the kids from school, if you say to a mum, what are you going to do over the summer holidays? How's things going to be with work? They'll go, I'm going to struggle. Well, my mum's coming up. We've got a bit of nursery and we've got a bit of sports. What about you? Oh, well, I'm really lucky. I work from home, so I can work around the children. So think about those clever questions that you can put together so that you can make sure that people are asking you the questions that you want to answer. And honestly, that will give you it's a really good bit of armor, because rather than going, well, what is it? They will ask you the questions that you're asking them. It's a good little tip. I can't remember who told me that. I think that might have been a staff. That might have been Mr. Longwood that told me that.
Oh, look at this. Peter Callman in the direct messages said, obviously you can only direct message us. I don't know why you can't see everything in the group. It must be the chat settings that UW have put on, because this is the company Zoom room. But this is great. Peter Callman has just said soft questioning: who, where, what, why, when, and how. You cannot say yes or no to those questions. Yeah, open questions. So asking who, where, what, why, when, and how. And just to say that Fiona McLeod has downloaded Andy Waring, Make the Phone Your Friend. So obviously
guys, I've just opened up the chat. So Billy Brass, I love that conversation starter. If you could just re-stick that in, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So Billy's got a great one in. It's a bit similar to one we're going to come up to in a minute, but really, really good to have some different options. The chat's open now, guys. You'll all be able to chat on it. Now, we've got a couple, obviously, however much you understand what they've done, there are going to be times when you're still left hanging. So there's two really good options here. I use these all the time. One is to kind of say I'm in work mode, and two is to apologize for not getting in touch, even though you haven't followed up. So quick message while I'm in work mode: did you see the above message? I know what it's like with the phone pinging. Shall I take it that the timing's wrong and you don't wish to know anymore, or shall we get together on Tuesday and I'll show you what I'm up to? So that's really good if you genuinely think there was a level of interest there. So this isn't quite clearing the decks, is it? Because what you're doing is you're giving them a question to answer again. But this is a really good one for those people that you have been meaning to go back to, and you might have ignored them for a bit, and you might have been busy, or you might have just forgotten them in your phone. So have a picture of that. That's a good one. Put that in your bank. It's a good thing. Hold these, get them written down, so that when you you're boiling the kettle, or you're, I don't know, sat at swimming or sat waiting to pick up the kids, you could just get these sent out. The other one is to apologize, even though it's not your fault. Just apologize. Now, this is where you've just not responded because you don't know what to say, or they've left you hanging for 6 messages. I'm so sorry to not have messaged you back for ages. The new business has been going well and I'm a little behind. Posture, just going really well and I'm busy. I'm just organising my diary and hoped I could still count on your support. Ooh, nice. Love that. Would it be okay if I sent you a little more info which explains what I'm up to? Do let me know either way. Apologise again for the delay. Now, there's lots of things you can send for the info. We'll go over that in a moment, but put in the chat, share it between each other. What information could you send to send a little bit more? And Steph talks about this. He talks about hot plates. He talks about moving, especially with recruiting, moving through people through a process of showing them a bit about the business, telling them a little bit more, telling them a little bit more, telling them a little bit more. You don't have to go from, can I show you what I'm doing, to sitting down and signing them up as a customer and a partner. That's great when that happens. But some people just take a little bit longer. Yeah. Green people take a little bit longer. They want to find out a little bit more because they don't make quick decisions. So use the tools. So they're leaving the tool hanging, if you like, not you. So I find that they both work really well.
I love that. I love those little conversation starters. Now then, following up on referrals, all the things that we do, you know, UW is a big old buffet table. We've all got different skills. The important thing is, as leaders, is we try everything. Well, not leaders, is whether you've been, you know, when you're a newbie in UW, give everything a bash, right? Give it a try. You know, everything's worth trying once. Hi, Claire, just a quick follow-up to see when I can show you the benefits with UW. Your friend Jane loved it. You're fried. You're fried, friend.
We literally typed this up about 27 minutes past 8. I'm so sorry. I am so dyslexic. Excuse the typos.
Your friend Jane loved it and wanted to share the savings with you. When is best for you? Days, evenings, or weekends? I'm free tomorrow at 8 if you are. No obligation. All it costs is another little typo there by us.
Sorry.
All it costs is 20 minutes and a cup of tea. Now, I love that. And I'm going to say this now, you're not going to like me for this, but far more powerful, guys, if you pick up the old phone. I know it weighs a ton sometimes, right? Hiding behind messages. People can ignore them. You cannot, get over the sentiment sent in a text message. I think the people who get off to the best start are the people who actually pick up the phone and speak to people, because enthusiasm and passion beats skills and knowledge hands down. I can tell you now that the newbies who I get off to a great start, they're the people who pick up the phone, and speak to people. Hey, Han, listen, I know this may come as a bit of a surprise, but I've started a new venture. I'm loving it, because obviously I haven't got enough money. Can I come and show you and Sean? Oh, it does. I don't want you to do anything except hear me out. I'm not selling anything. It's actually saving people money. I saved about £82 a month. You're going to love it. Can I come and show you a presentation? I need to practice, and I'm going to bring Scott with me. He's my mentor. He's bloody brilliant. But will you give me some time? I really value your support. Can I count on you?
I would never say no to that.
Yeah.
And also what Claire just did really beautifully is she edified her mentor. Don't say, I heard this, I had a team member the other week say something along the lines of, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to bring my mentor with me. I'm like, I'm not that bad. But, edify, she's great. She'll let me answer all the questions. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing yet. Because what you're doing is you're then pre-selling the business. You're pre-selling the opportunity that it doesn't matter that you don't know what you're doing. Someone's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
So edify your mentor, because the person you're seeing is then more likely to go, do you know what, I can do that as well.
Yeah,
and the other
13
thing
times
about
more
making
likely
calls,
to get,
it's massive.
If your mentor's there, newbies 13 times
times
more likely. Also, did you all like Hannah's video that I put in Skills Pays the Bills about, adding the why, the mini why to their story? Far more likely to open doors that way, because people want to help people. If they're explaining why they're doing this, they're going to get that buy-in. If you haven't, look in Skills Pays the Bills. You can watch Hannah's video. That's what I do on the Fast Start
plan. I was wearing this top in the video. I promise I have worn other clothing since then. The other thing as well about phone calls, while I remember, is when you ring somebody, it's quite likely that they won't answer. If you're in their phone as Hannah Utilities, they'll go, ah. And if you're not in their phone, they'll go, ah. Either way. Now, if they don't answer, what I then put at the beginning of this text is I've just tried to get, and I'll leave an answer phone message, super perky. I'm like, hi, it's Hannah. I was just trying to get hold of you. Don't worry, I'll send you a text message. I'll speak to you tomorrow. So really quick message. Nobody can mess that up. When I then send the text, I say, I've just tried to call you, but I appreciate you probably won't answer an unknown number. Now, even if they have just ignored you, just give them a perfect excuse not to ignore you. You're literally taking away all the barriers that they've got. So what you're saying to them is, it's okay because you're ignored because you don't know me. So you're addressing it head on. So that phrase is, I've just tried to call you, but I appreciate lots of people don't answer an unknown number. It was just a quick follow-up because Claire wanted to show you the benefits of UW and you back into it. Or it's a quick follow-up because we met at the dog show. It's a quick follow-up because I was that crazy woman that knocked on your door last winter in the rain. Yeah. It does, just tweak it and have fun with it.
And you shared with me the other day a script that you use when you ring your WAM forms. Sorry, you ring 20K forms. So why don't we just role play that now? Okay. And, guys, maybe you want to record this on your phone, because I know lots of you do win 20Ks. And it is a real skill, that phone call, following up on those forms, which is gold dust for you, is gold mine there. Hannah shared this with me today, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So Hannah's met me at the local co-op, okay, where she did a win 20K. She's ringing me up to follow up with me because she's got my number on a form. Hannah, go for it.
So this would be when it might have been literally 2 years, and I found the forms in the bottom of a bag. Has anyone done that? I've done it. We've all done it. Anyone that says you haven't done it, it's done lightly. We've all done it. We've all left in a bit. So I go, hi, Claire. I don't know whether you remember me, and you probably won't, but we met 2 years ago when I was on my purple stand in the co-op talking about gas and electricity. Do you have any recollection of that at all?
Oh, God, I think, were you wearing that sleeveless top with flowers on it? You got it on now. I think every time I've seen you, you're wearing that top.
Most people say I've got a forgettable face, so thank you so much for remembering me. Now, unfortunately, I am not the woman from the lottery winning to say you've won £20,000, but what you have won is the opportunity to sit down with me and take a look at your boring old bills and see what we can trim off them. Now, I know it's not exciting, but I would absolutely love to follow up with you, because I promised I would ring you in the next 12 months, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I always say that, if people said ring me in October, and then it's June, I say, oh, you said to ring you in June. I just say, oh, you said that you were in a 24-month contract and ring in a couple of years. So in January, I rang about 30 winner mini forms, and from it, I got 6 homeowners taking 3 or more services.
Wow.
And I hadn't that winner mini, I didn't realise till I got on the phone, because I said, oh, we met at the co-op in Ashby de la Zouch about a year ago. And this lovely woman said to me, she went, it must be longer than that, because I was visiting my mum and she died during COVID.
Don't laugh,
I completely rumbled that it was literally, those forms were 2020.
Wow.
And I got 6 customers over the line. So it didn't matter. And I said, I said I'd call you back. Well, I am doing. I know it's been a little while. When you ring, always say you've got a forgettable face. People love that. Just say that you were on your purple stand, not your UW stand. And, I always write on there little bits like, was buying hot cross buns, because I say you were buying hot cross buns and they know that they love hot cross buns, or you were coming out with 3 packets of bleach. Literally, those little things, especially in a co-op, work really, really well, and they'll love it.
Do you know what? It doesn't matter how long you've got that number for. I got loads of bloody, my people to help book, as my referral books. And during COVID, I did the same thing, one of those sweaty afternoons when everybody was stressed, thinking their business was going to implode. And I'd lock myself up here while everybody else was drinking gin and eating sausages. And I just thought, bloody hell, what am I going to do? So I literally grabbed my people to help book, like names and numbers going back 4 years. And I thought, well, what the hell, what have I got to lose? And I tell you what, I got some amazing stories of people that I was so scared to ring them, because I thought, well, I can't ring this person here, Jill and Mike. They've been in my book since 2012. And I just thought, well, what the hell? And so I just picked up the phone. I was like, oh, hello, is that Jill? Hiya, Jill. My name's Claire. Now, you're probably never going to remember this because it was a long time ago. And we've all had many sleeps since then. But I went to see your friend, Jeff and Mary, and I saved them loads of money on their bills. And they gave me your number because they thought you might be interested. Now, this was back in 2001, right? And I appreciate you probably don't remember. However, I am just super busy with this, and I promised myself this week I would set some time aside to ring everybody in my book that I didn't ring back in 2012, and you're one of those lucky people.
Brilliant.
And said, some of them were like, God, I do have some recollection of them mentioning some woman that was going to ring me about bills. So it was like just having a bit of fun with it and just saying, look, the reason I'm calling is because I can't let people go without knowing about what I do and the company that I work for. It's a cost of living crisis going on. You've got to be under a rock to not know what's happening out there. I said, I just help people save money on their boring bills. It's a personal service. If I remember, I saved Mike we saved him over sort of £1,000 a year, because I usually write down next to their name how much I saved them. That's a good tip. And my business works on referrals, and they gave me a load of numbers of lovely people, and you were one of them. They thought you might be interested. It's a free review. All it costs is a cup of tea. At the moment, we've got some, and then I'll go into whatever's current in UW now. So I'll say at the moment
you've got the fixed rate.
Yes.
Like, it's going to go. If anyone thinks that Justin is going to let this fixed rate go into August, I think you're slightly potty. You've got 10 days. You need to be on this. And it's like, I've been ringing my team today and saying, I can see that you've not been active for 30 days. What can I do to help you? I'm never disappointed in anybody, but I am regretful that I've not been able to communicate always to my team the limited ability we've got with this fixed rate. This isn't about you fixing in as partners. Do not fix in as partners. Thanks for that, Claire. This isn't about you fixing as partners and saving 50 quid. No, this is about you using this as a tool to open doors, because if you go and see anybody and you can show them the fixed rate and the boost, what it's saying to them is this is easy and it's simple. Doesn't matter what you're paying per kilowatt hour, what your business, it doesn't matter. Just get the figures in, get them saving. And this is an opportunity now to ring back those people. Use that script Claire's just given you. If you've just listened to it, it's entertainment. If you've written it down, made a note, this is why I have a paper diary. I'm really hot on this now. I will diarise 2 hours out my diary on Friday. That will be to use that script Claire's just given us. Going, I've not spoken to you for 2 years, but I've made a promise to myself to contact everybody that I've spoken to tell them about the fixed rate.
Exactly.
Get on it. It's brilliant.
You're brilliant in is, it's a cost of living crisis. We don't advertise as a company. This is a great phrase. I've got a due diligence to follow up with every referral I've ever had. I've been doing this business 12 years, and there's some people in my book I'm ringing from 5 years ago, and I'll tell them that. And I'll say, look, I'm ringing people. You're probably not going to remember me, but I'm making so many appointments with people who want to see what we do. At the moment, we've got the cheapest fixed rate in the country. If you're a homeowner, are you a homeowner, Hannah?
I am.
Brilliant. Well, there's an opportunity to get £150 credited to your second bill just as a goodwill gesture for being a customer.
Now, and then always add in on that question, when you ask, are you a homeowner? Always ask, every time. I hate to bring this up, but when's your fixed rate ending on the mortgage? Because if they say any time within the next 48 months, say, have you looked at the projection? And I know it's not fun, but would it make sense to have a look now how to start and bring that £250 or £500 a month in now, so that that's habitual in the next 24 months? Or are you just going to leave it and hope for the best? Because a lot of my customers now are taking the opportunity to looking at bringing that extra money in. Now, you're not saying I'm going to bring you on the team and you're going to be the next NNL and you're going to cut your arm off and bleed purple and be on every skills pays the bills. What we're saying is you might need this as a financial crutch to keep going.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the mortgage question, Hannah? So when I say, when Claire says, are you a homeowner? And they say, yeah, I go, brilliant, we can give you the boost. And also, I know this might be a little bit uncomfortable to think about it, but as a homeowner, when does your fixed rate end on the mortgage? Okay. Yeah. Now, anybody that's got it finishing in the next 2 years, let's make today. I really wonder.
I'm blurry. Why am I blurry?
It's blurry, and that was really not the best ever blurry picture. Count, everybody. It's count. It doesn't say anything else other than let's make today count. Thank you for that. Right, we're running out of time. We're heading towards 20 past at a rapid rate. I'm just going to give you
a lot tonight. I can hardly speak tonight.
Sorry.
Come on.
This one, I love this script. This is one that I've literally used in the last week to recruit from. And it's a way of saying that, it's about creating a bit of fear of loss. It's about creating some urgency in your business. So, Claire, just a quick follow-up to see if you're ready to jump on board as part of the UW team, not my team. I hate it when people say my team. It's the team. Really important change of language. Yeah. You showed an interest last month, and I'm looking to get some good people started in July. I wanted to give you first refusal. How soon can we get you registered? Link below if you're good to go now, or mess you with any queries. I look forward to working with you. And pop your partner registration link on. Don't ask, get it out there. I have had people join the team that are I've not really spoken to them a huge amount, and they've just joined when they're ready because they've got the link.
Brilliant. Don't be they don't want to be finding anybody else's link. Okay, you get them yours. So if ever they come back in 5 years, 5 months, they can find your link in a message, and they're not going to join somebody else. That's a great tip as well. And I want you just to write down some names of 5 people. This is a great way of reframing this, who you'd be gutted if you found out they joined someone else's team. That's a Wes Linden special.
Gosh, I'd forgotten about that. Doing that's getting written down.
Now write down 5 people's names who you'd love to join your team. 5 people's names or 10 people's names who you would be absolutely devastated if you found out they joined my team or Hannah's team or somebody else's team.
I'll create a bit of urgency to say to them.
Yeah.
And say, I'm getting back in touch. I'm thinking of Chris Stevens now on my list. But imagine getting back in touch and saying, the reason I'm getting back in touch is more and more people are making the wise decision to jump on with UW and earn a second income. And I'd be absolutely devastated if you met someone at football and you joined someone else's team.
Yeah.
Because I think you could make a massive success of this. I'd like to help you get started. And what you're also doing is you're kind of preempting the fact that that is going to happen. Let's face it, it is. We're going to double market share in the next 5 years. Loads of people are going to join. So what you're also preempting is that you've been doing this for, if you've been doing it a while, that you're the expert in the field. You're the person to help them and guide them and mentor them to success.
Yeah, absolutely. So following up, it's about, as we said at the start, doing what you said you were going to do, stepping away from the crowd. 48% of people give up after the first contact. 80% of sales are made after 5 plus contacts. Follow up. If you keep a no for now list, book, portal, keep a stack of doing 20k forms. Just promise yourself that you are going to follow up. And, organising the next contact. And what's lovely, UW have done all the work for us. They've created some incredible tools that allow us to look professional, look on it like a car bonnet, smashing it like a boss. Send them one of the tools. No better to validate what you're doing than the gorgeous Ben Fogle in his little blue apron. Sending them some stuff, the Earn link, a story, the magazine. Stuff is great, right? Use the stuff. It's bloody brilliant. Keeping a promise and then following up with them. Great, Hannah. So if I send you this little UW story, it's only 2 minutes long. How soon can you watch it?
I can watch it at 7 when I get in from work, actually, Claire.
Brilliant. Shall I ring you about 7:30 and we can have a chat about it? Because after you've watched it, you're going to want to chat to me about it. I know you are.
Yeah.
Okay, because you'll probably have a few questions. So I'll give you a quick call, and we can go over them. And getting organized. So doing these things, this is a nooks and crannies business, right? Doing the things in the little pockets of time you've got. When I was a teacher, I used to do it, at break time, while everybody else was in the staff room. I'd sit in my car in my classroom and I'd be sending messages and, finding the pockets of time. A great tip is, if you're a busy mum, when you get home from work, before you go into the house and the chaos smacks you in the face and the dog jumps up on you and everything else, sit in the car and spend 5 minutes making some calls, or 5 minutes adding some names to your list, or 5 minutes ringing some old WAM forms. Keep them in the car. Another great tip is keeping a personal development book in the car.
Yeah,
so I do that. Yeah, if you're waiting for the kids when you take them to activities, you've got, I take Ava now to swimming on a Monday. If there's no one to talk to, which there always is, I've got a book in my bag. I'll read 5 pages. But
also, if it's a personal development book, sometimes people come and say, they'll talk to you about what it is you're reading.
Yes, it's a conversation starter.
Great conversation starter. In fact, in the chat, we said we're going to do this. I do things when I'm boiling the kettle, when I'm in the car, just like Claire said, and during swim lessons or golf or whatever I'm doing, picking up. Pop in the chat where you found a nook and cranny in your day, because you might be doing something that someone else hasn't thought they can use that time to do. So pop in there those little bits of time that you found during your day where you're able to send a text, send a follow-up, make a contact, add a friend on Facebook, say hello to someone on LinkedIn. It doesn't matter what it is. Pop them in the chat because everyone will see them then. It might, do you know what, on the loo, I call them toilet texts. Yeah. I'm even up front with the team. I'm like, I can't call you back. Text. This is a toilet text. It's absolutely fine if you're on the
remember to wash your hands and sterilize your phone every now and again. Yeah, look at this. I live in this, driving between jobs before I go to bed. Some people do it in the morning.
Yeah.
Having a wee during break as a teacher, brilliant. Kids bath time, audio. I love this. This is the power of UW partners and part-time.
Wait to pick the kids up.
The stuff we do when everybody else is wasting time.
While I'm listening to you two, no, you should be engrossed for this 59 minutes of pure magic. I'm joking. Feeding the cats, out cycling. I did a 5-hour drive up to Ayr recently, and I actually saved some customer numbers as like Jane customer, John customer, Fred customer, so I could say, hey, I don't want to say because I'll start going, call Jane customer, and then I could just make all my calls in the car, and my journey went really, really quickly. So those little nooks and crannies are absolutely brilliant. You can also do something called habit stacking. For any of you that know me, I'm bonkers about atomic habits at the moment. So that's when, if you find your calls difficult to do and you go, I need to make 3 calls today, that's my promise, because I want my holiday, basically 3 calls a day, you've got a holiday. How cool is that?
Amazing.
And if you're finding it difficult to make those 3 calls, habit stack it. So don't get to do something you really want to do until you've done the calls. So for me, I struggle to always fit my personal development in. So now I am not allowed my morning coffee, which I love, until I'm sat with my book. So I get my book out, I make my coffee, and then I get my 20 minutes, have my coffee, read my book. Right. I love having a little browse on Facebook. I love it, but I don't do it until I've made my 3 calls.
Yeah.
So that's called temptation stacking. You do something you've got to do before something you enjoy doing. Oh, yeah, eat that frog. Yeah,
eat that. When my partner says, I'll wait for you in the car, I do a call before I go out. I love that. I love all this. This is what we do, right? And this is lovely to hear what other people are doing, because you always think you're on your own, don't you? Oh, nobody else is doing this. It can be a lonely business, and that's what I love about these calls. We get together, we share ideas, we feel like we're brothers and sisters locking arms, and you think, oh, I do that, I'm not on my own, I bloody love it. So remember, following up isn't nagging, it's doing what you said you would do. Set yourself aside from everybody else, taking control, organizing yourself, being brave, okay? Having your goals and dreams bigger than your problems to push you forward. And remember, do it now. What's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it now.
Go.
Just do it. Well, because the secret is this. The secret is that consistency is the secret. While most people are thinking about it, worrying about it, stressing about it, other people are doing it, guys. And they are the people who are qualifying for all the incentives, walking across the UW stages, inspiring you. They are the people that are just taking action, because action cures fear. And I guarantee you, if you harness this go for no, and you go for this, and you follow up like a boss, follow up like a beast, follow up like a pro, you will move the dial of your business forward. I guarantee you now. Right? While you were thinking about it, we are doing it. Now, hopefully tonight you've taken lots of photos, screenshots. I sometimes find trainings overwhelming, because I think, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Little tip for you: on my phone, I take a picture and I create a new album in my photo book, and I call it scripts. And you can have different albums where you call it, no for now scripts, newbie scripts, win 20K scripts, recruiting scripts, and they just screenshots on my phone in photos, and I create a different album for each one, because it can be difficult to find stuff. So there's a top tip for you of how to find things quickly, okay? Because we know we give you a lot of stuff, and you're thinking, oh God, how am I going to organize this and have a filing system? All right. So that is something that I do now.
I can just say, there's Steph Longworth sent a quote out today, which was brilliant. And this is Longworth's quote of the day. Bearing in mind, Paul Man's like, he's in pain. He's a little bit grumpy, and he's had a new hip, and he's feeling a bit poorly. But this is great. Longworth's quote of the day: if you want some money, speak to some people. If you want more money, speak to more people. If you don't want to make any money, don't speak to anybody. And I just think it's absolute genius. And one of the things with all the conversational starters, I do this with team, and they go, oh, that hasn't worked. And I just say to them all, well, do it 50 times and then tell me if it hasn't worked. So using an idea once or twice and saying it hasn't worked isn't that it hasn't worked. That's your law of averages. And that's exciting, because you're on the way to working out your ratio of send 10 messages, get 1 response. And then you suddenly know how many responses you need to help a family, save them some money, and move your business forward.
Yeah.
So with any of the scripts,
do it anyway.
Yeah. Go and prove them wrong. Prove us wrong and tell us it doesn't work. We're fine with that, because we know you'll have given it a damn good shot.
Yeah. So we just want to thank you tonight for tuning in with us.